knowing your past a little bit, right? What led you to do burlesque, or what came first, burlesque or dominatrix?
Well, my history is weird. So I was always a performer. I was an actor first, and then I switched to being an art major in like high school to take a break from it. And while I was in high school, I moved out early. I was one of those kids that couldn't wait to start doing shit on my own. So when I was like 15, I moved out with a roommate to Williamsburg, back when you could get places for cheap. I just go to school, go to work, and then go there. So he did Sideshow. I worked in a tattoo shop with him. So the tattoo shop introduced me to body play and to BDSM and to body modification and a whole host of new things that I had never really exposed to before. So that was really cool. So they would have like parties in the back of the shop, and they would do like fire play with like alcohol where, you light up your partner and you put them out, but everything was safety and all that. They do nude body painting, piercing, sometimes suspension, like all sorts of stuff. So that kind of got me close and around the BDSM scene. Like for a while, I actually had a little bit of a complex. I was probably about 15 when I started working there. And I noticed I had a fetish. And I didn't have a fetish. So for the longest, I was like, what's wrong with me? Like, I don't have a like, what's my fetish? Like, spanking or feet or something. But eventually I learned to say to like a little bit of, a little bit of a mix, I guess. But yeah, so that it all kind of came together, the BDSM. And then my roommate from that tattoo shop did Sideshow. He was called the Reverend Be Dangerous. So he introduced me to glass walking and all that. So it all kind of came together around that time, I guess. So the Sideshow was first. And then when I started performing regularly, oftentimes I'd be booked within burlesque shows as the variety portion. And then as it progressed, when I was younger, I was much more self-conscious about showing parts of my body. And I don't know, also when I was younger, I wasn't sure exactly what I was going to do when I was older. And back then it was a little more stigmatizing. Like, if, you showed your tits and people found out, I might not hire you. I don't know. So I was a little paranoid. So it took me a couple years to get more comfortable with showing my body, especially with cell phones and all that stuff. Doing it like one-on-one's a little different. Yeah. But yeah, as I got a little older, I got much more comfortable with it, and then started mixing Sideshow and burlesque. And now I do them. Yeah, I do both of them. So.
Okay. No, that's all.